So we are actually going to be doing a really, really cool thing with tires. I'm like so excited. I think this is one of my favorite lessons. I love it. It's awesome. So they give you some information. What I'd like for you guys to do is just take a split second, read the top of this. You're not answering anything. I'm fine with you making some little notes, jot down a few little ideas, but you're not calculating anything. They're just telling you what your goal is going to be. So I'll give you about 30 seconds, 45 seconds, just read it and jot down a few ideas of what you have. Maybe some predictions. Okay, so I'm hoping you guys, at least if Brad maybe wrote a couple of things down. Any thoughts? Any thoughts before we go any further that you're thinking, we have this goal, any thought on what you think is going to happen?
Gas mileage is going to suck more.
Okay, so you think your gas mileage is going to be terrible. It's going to affect your gas mileage. Okay? Okay, what else?
You already said ratio, how many times you go to crap.
So you think you're going to use ratios, and you think you said something else. You said how many what?
RPMs.
Okay.
To the speed. Because your speed's going to slow down.
Okay, so speed's going to be affected. Okay, you're giving a lot. Let's let a couple other people give. Okay, what else? Anything else that's not listed here that you said that you thought might be affected? The whole truck. So what do you mean by that?
In case like the tires actually too big for it, you might have to get a lift on it or something.
Okay, so you'll have to affect other things like, change things on the actual truck. It's funny that you chose truck. Does it say truck in the situation?
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny, but those are usually the people that are going to change to bigger tires, right? I mean, usually. Yes, I'm ready.
Your turning radius is going to go down.
Okay, turning radius. Good. Anything else? So all things that could be affected, I'm sure you guys are thinking some other stuff. So let's turn the page over. And they actually have to show you some definitions of some stuff, so they've got a great diagram. But I'm a huge fan of seeing the stuff in 3D. So they do a really good job in pointing everything out to you at the very top. So those numbers on the tires actually mean something. And most of you guys know this, but what happens is a lot of you guys, the only thing that you really, really think of is the rim size. That's really the only thing that you really talk about. So what did you say? So you have tires on your truck that are...
No, I was saying how many is it? 22.
22s. Okay, good. Oh, nice. So my whole point is that if you notice, there's a whole lot more numbers in that list there than just the actual rim diameter. So it says R15, R whatever, R stands for radial. So there's this great, fantastic picture where they actually show you everything, what all of the numbers mean. What you guys are going to be focusing on is the numbers up at the top that say P215 65R15. So it goes through, the P just means it's a passenger tire, the 215 means that the width of the tire is that, and all that stuff. So you can always refer back to this if you get confused. So how fabulous is that? Down at the bottom, they do a better job at showing you what those numbers actually mean based on that picture. So if I turn this tire this way, if you look at that example down below, it says that the values that you're working with is P245, 70R16. So it says right there, P is the passenger tire, 245 is the tire's width in millimeters. So that means that the width of that tire from here to here is 245, right? 245, is that what it said? Millimeters. Very important. Okay, that you notice the units there. Okay, and then we go on. 70, this is awesome. 70 is the tire's aspect ratio. Oh yay, aspect ratios, right? Which we know and love so dearly. That is the ratio of the tire's height to its width. So what you need to realize is when they say the height of the tire, notice what the picture shows. That's going to be this right here. from here to here is the height of the tire. It's not from here to the bottom. So this right here is the diameter of the rim. This right here is the height of the tire. Notice what units is the height of the tire in. One more page, the next page. What they're going to have you do is they're going to have you compare two tires. And you're going to get the information correct, fill in the blanks of the missing information, and do it, well, I'm going to make you do it much more systematically. Here's what I would like. I'm going to have you guys get grid paper, which I'll take out. You're going to get markers, and I want you guys to actually show me, step by step, how you filled that table in. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes? Step by step. Step number 1, I looked at this and wrote it in here. Great, that's a step. As simple to the little bit more challenging steps. I want step by step. Okay? And then we'll take a pause. We're going to share some of our stuff. And then we're going to go on to actually apply the information that we get to get all the cool, awesome, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Or you did, and you just didn't know by how much. Does that make sense? So, with that, let's pod up, give yourself room, space, and what's going on?
This is how we were trying to just do the example on this tire, and this is how we set it up.
Okay, so what did you do? What did you set up, and what were you thinking?
The ratio height is the normal height over the width, which is 215 of this tire.
Okay.
Equals 65, because that's the ratio.
Equals 65.
Yeah.
65 what? 65, because it's written as a what?
A percent. 0.65.
0.65. Okay, so if you do that, so you set up a ratio. Great. Make sure you write that in your steps. Right? So
it's x equals 0.65.
Okay, so what would you do?
Multiply by 215.
Okay. And what would you get? Okay, does that answer make sense? Why or why not? So what is this answer supposed to be? This number is supposed to be the height, right? The height of the tire, right? So the question becomes, does this make sense? Does the height ratio, does the height to width ratio equal 65%? Could you check it to see if it makes sense? So check it and see if it works.
Because I know this is what you're supposed to do, but I know it's not trying.
Okay, why? How do you know? So I like that you said, I know it's not. How do you know?
Well, I know because you gave us this, and obviously it's already in millimeters, so I can convert it into inches, but I know it's still not right when I try to do that.
Okay, so how did you get 294? What did you do?
Well, I took the ratio that they gave.
Okay, so the diameter is 16, right?
Yeah, and we're trying to get the circumference.
Okay, but remember we can't use the diameter because that's just the rim diameter. You have to do the whole tire. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, look.
Yeah, so you have to
It's just
multiply by
really
the height.
Yeah. Of both. So we have to do both though. So both sides.
29.5.
So yeah.
So you get 29 diameter.
Because you have to do the height times 2, and then you add that to the diameter. Because there's 2 sides of the tire.
Okay, so you add the 6.75 twice to 60.
Which equals 13.5, then you add that 60, which is 29. So then, yeah, 29.5 pi. Because that
Pi inches.
yes.
So where's the 16 on this picture, Vasquez?
And then you do it to the side.
He's here.
And it
So you do 8.42
This right here.
times 2
or 4. Oh, it's 14.
plus 60, which is 32.84 pi. So we got it.
It's not
Pi
going to
inches. Don't forget the inches.
Inches.
So how did you guys get 6.7? I'm seeing something fun over here. What did you guys do?
This,
So you guys found it differently then? Okay, good. So I'd like to talk to both of you guys then. Okay, so what did you do and then what did you do? So you went...
Here it said that it's the tire's height is 70% of the width.
Okay.
And so I put x over 245 because that's what the width is. And then I cross multiplied with 70 over 100.
And how'd you get 70 over 100?
Because that's 70%
Okay, and you did something different.
Well, I just did 0.70 times that and got that.
Okay, now how did you think, I mean, what did you think of? So you thought of this as a ratio, this is to this as 70 is to 100, and you thought of it as what? As a percent. So what did you say? You say those words again. You said that this
245 times 0.70
is going to give you what?
They wanted that.
Okay, and your answer is going to come out in what? When you take this and multiply it by 0.7, which is what you said. What will your answer be? Come out in millimeters. So then what did you do to get the 6.7?
Then I divided it by 25.
So you did it just with a quick division, and you guys did something cool over here. What did you do?
Dimensional analysis.
I can't do that.
Which is really important. I want both of you to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So it's nice that you guys need the dimensional analysis, and that gets you lost. You can just see it and divide it. Wouldn't it really frustrate you if I stood up in front of the room and said, you're just going to multiply by 0.7 and divide by this? You would be lost. And you would be lost if I said, we need to do dimensional analysis.
Yeah, like my algebra class.
So it's important that you guys get to be together to show both your ways and show that you can still get the same answer you did, doing it in a way you understood and doing it in a way you, even though it's same concept, just written differently, it's a big difference, right? Yeah. You get it better, you get it better. That's what matters. Good job. Now, this is saying the height in inches. I'm noticing you have the same answer here and here.
Because the diameter is also the whole is same as the height.
Okay, I think on this, they're wanting just this.
Just that part, well then that would be 6.
Well, that would be the 6.5.
And how did you get the 6.2? What happened there? What did you do?
We set it up like, which would be the height over the width, which was, we didn't know the height, so I would have x over 245, which
Okay.
is equal to 70, because that was the aspect ratio, and the percentage is 100, so that's
So
what we
you
added.
changed 70 over 100 to make this a percent. Great option. Okay.
So then we got 17,150.
Okay.
Divided that by 100, so we could figure out, did the whole thing.
Okay.
171.5.
And what units do you have at this point?
Millimeters.
Still in millimeters.
So
Okay.
then we divided that by
So
25.
you told us that 25.4 millimeters equals 1 inch. So then, since these were still millimeters, we divided that by 25.4, which equals 6.5 inches.
Okay.
And then that.
And this is your
height.
Your tire height.
Focus discussion. So what I would like is, I would like for a couple of sharing, some groups to share, and then we're going to get through as much sharing as we can, and we'll go from there. Focus discussion? Yes? So even if you're not done, write in silence so that we can hear everybody talking. So, I believe we're completed, so I'll let this group come up and share with you.
So, this is our first part, and this is going to be the height, or not the height, the width of the tire, which is 245 millimeters, you know, and then how we got the height, we got the width of the millimeter, or width of the tire, and divided it by 25.4 millimeters to get 9.645 inches. There are that many millimeters in it.
So you turned it into inches first.
Correct.
Okay?
So then we found out, or we know that the aspect ratio is 70%, which is basically 7 over 10.
Now what made you pick 7 over 10?
Because it's easier.
Easier than what?
It's 70 over 10, or 70 over 100.
Okay, great.
And then we got 6.76 inches for the height of the tire.
Okay, so I'm going to let someone else rotate in and kind of keep explaining. So maybe one of the lovely ladies.
Sure. Give them the matching pencil. You're on the aspect ratio.
Okay. The aspect ratio would be the 70, so it's 70%. And
Which is what you used in the step before to get that. Okay, so you're just going through the table itself.
yeah,
Okay.
And
The diameter.
the diameter,
That's the equation right there.
okay. Okay, the diameter, how we figured out, we did the height times 2 plus 16, and we got 29.52 inches.
And what was the 16 again?
The 16 was the rim.
Okay, okay. So you had to have both the heights. Okay, great, awesome. And then Walker, show us the last part of getting the circumference.
The circumference, is 5 times the diameter, so we just did the diameter of the whole tire, which is this, and times the 5 pi, and we got that for that one, and 99.68 for this.
Okay.
That's 92.74.
Okay, so let's leave that one up. So with this group, I want you guys obviously to show your method, and then I was talking with this group, and just within this group, they kind of thought about it differently. And so I want you to kind of have that discussion that we had talked about with everyone as well. So go kind of have a discussion about the answers that we just got, or what we just found. And this will lead us into what we will finish talking about tomorrow. First of all, I'm noticing that at the very end of this, and I don't think we finished this side, did we? So was there a group that finished this side? What was our actual final circumference of the second tire?
103.13.
103.13 what?
Inches.
Inches. So I'm noticing over here, I'm seeing 99.68 inches. So my question is, if we looked back, and which is why I wanted you guys to show your work, I could actually look back through this. You could actually look back through this and see if there was a mistake and where that occurred. And this is really important, because if I were to have you answer the rest of what we're doing for the next part of the process, and you have wrong answers, the rest of it's going to be wrong. So this was a really important time to pause and make sure that we all got roughly, at the very end of this, 92.74 inches and 103.13. Do you guys know this group over here? What happened? Why this?
Riley messed up.
So we just go by step by step?
Sure, I'd like to know what you guys did. And we're all listening.
You fill out the table of information given on your paper. Step.
Step 2 is solving by the height of the tire, or solving for the height of the tire by taking the width and multiplying by it by the aspect ratio.
Okay? We're listening?
Okay, so we just went by the steps of the chart. So for width, we knew that it was 245 millimeters, and we decided to convert it to inches just in case we would use inches.
So you converted it to inches first.
First step. So
Fine. Okay, you don't have to read it to us, just the basic gist of what you guys did. Okay?
Okay, first we got all the information that was already provided to us when we filled in the table with what we did. And then to find the height, we had to convert the millimeters into inches by using dimensional analysis. So we found that. And then with the aspect ratio, we just looked to find the height.
So you used dimensional analysis. Can you show me on the board what dimensional analysis you used? Because I don't see that there, and I like that you used that term.
Okay, so the width was 245 millimeters. And then we wanted to find that in inches, so we could turn it into height in inches. So we did 1 inch over 25.4. Millimeters. So then we canceled off the millimeters and we were left in inches, and then it came out to 9.646 inches, which is the width. You can read that.
What I want to know is there anything like a specific something that you guys did different than what's up here already? Okay, this group over here, just have a couple of you guys come up and just tell me in words, what did you guys do differently, point it out, and let me know why you did it differently.
Okay, well, when we were finding the height of the tire, first, most people, they took the width of the tire and turned it into inches. what we did was we just took what they gave us and made a ratio out of it. So we did, so for this one,
and you can write it on the board if you want. I'd like to know is obviously one tire's circumference is larger than the other. So what I'd like to know is how do you think that's going to affect how the odometer or the speedometer, and how do you think that's going to affect how far that tire has to travel? So conversations you'd like to have. Anderson, what do you think?
Well, it'll go. Well, for the small tire, it'll go 1.11 rotations for every rotation of the bigger tire. So it'll probably go. The odometer will probably read a little bit faster.
Okay, so you think
your speedometer will go a little bit faster, and your odometer will probably be a little bit off because the tire is going more of the distance. So
you think the larger tire is going to show the odometer being faster? Okay. Anyone think anything different? What to say?
The speed will be faster because I don't know why.
It would be nice if we could prove it. Don't you agree?